So I've just finished my last homework for our last ulpan lesson before the summer holidays, and I'm so proud of myself. I just wanted to share it with you. Basically, we had to write 5 sentences using I was, which is the past tense. We've just learned that yesterday. And so not only did I have to write the sentences and understand them, but I also had to try and work out how to spell them and write neatly. So here is what I've achieved. And basically, I'm really pleased. So just to give you an example, the first one, if in case you can't read my handwriting, the first one says, Ani garti ba'Anglia lifnei shavua, which means I lived in England last year. So I'm just so excited. I've written 5 sentences in Hebrew and I know what they say and I understand them. So ulpan is obviously, doing a great job. Zippy, our teacher, is amazing. And we're actually, Teresa in our class has just invited us all over on Saturday night for an ulpan get together, drinks and karaoke, which is she's just amazing. It's so nice. I'm just feeling really proud of myself, and considering I didn't do my homework yesterday, and I actually now have done yesterday's homework today as well, I'm just really all pleased with my writing. So I am on now ulpan summer holidays, and I actually spoke to my parents today, and they're on holiday as well with some family friends. And I spoke to them and they were like, so what are you doing for 3 weeks? What, do they organize things for you? What do you do for 3 weeks? And I was like, well, no, nothing's really been organized. And they're like, well, are you okay, being on your own and having your own time? And I was like, actually, I would love to have a bit of my own time. But actually, I'm very, very busy these next few days. And I realized, I can't believe it, but I actually have a lot of things to do this week. So yesterday we went to the Museum of Jewish Heritage. I'm not actually sure entirely what it's called, but basically, my Uncle William has got all this family here. So there's Aunty Hannah, and her husband was actually the mayor of Yehuda, which is the town where they live, which is not too far from Tel Aviv. And basically my cousin Rosa was here, and her friends were going to meet Aunty Hannah and go to this museum, which is basically, she's helped running and helped establish, which is in Yehuda. And it's amazing history of Iraqi Jews and the whole Babylonian Jews, and sort of what happened in history and how they lived their lives, and then how they sort of made Aliyah and ended up here. So first of all, I had a mission getting on a bus trying to get there. Turns out there's 2 Bar-Lev streets in 2 different towns that are right next to each other. But once I actually made it to the museum, it was amazing. We had this private tour with this really lovely girl who was our guide, and Aunty Hannah was with us, and as the sort of guide was telling us everything, she was just adding in her own bits of information. And then when we were looking at some of the display cases, she was saying to Rosa, Rosa, this is your great-great-grandma's compact mirror, and this was your great-grandma's wedding veil, and they basically donated all these items to the museum, and they're all there on display. And it was just, honestly, it was amazing. It was so interesting, sort of I knew a bit of the history. There's the European Jewish history in the last sort of 100 years. Everyone is very familiar with the Holocaust, but actually there was a lot going on in Iraq, and in Baghdad at that time was a huge Jewish community that had lived in pleasant lives in this country for hundreds and hundreds of years, and then it all changed. So it was very, very interesting. And so that was yesterday, and then today I actually went to visit Tel Aviv University. I used to work for Tel Aviv University when I was in London, so it was really nice to go back and see some of the people I worked with, some of my old colleagues. Actually, I also went to visit the UJIA office a couple of weeks ago. Basically did a similar thing, and it's just so nice actually. Everyone's been so welcoming and friendly, just wow, you live here now, you're Israeli, and how's it all going? And they were laughing a lot at my stories about some of the things I've had to do, buying the washing machine and everything. So that was a really nice thing. And then I had a friend date this afternoon, a girl friend date, which I've been very fortunate to have been set up with some really nice girls to meet. So today I met a girl called Amy, who is a friend of our mutual friend, a girl called Simi, who I met when I was in London the last couple of years actually, and Amy is Australian but lived in London the last few years and has now moved to Israel and is trying to decide whether she's going to stay or not. So we actually had a really nice time, and she's invited me to her birthday party on Thursday, and she's got lots of friends coming, so I'm really pleased about that. And now I'm on my way to meet my friend Danny's younger sister Tasha, who has been here for 2 years. I've actually already had lunch with her, now we're going out for dinner, and she's really happy here. And honestly, like, I didn't really know her very much. Like, I knew her growing up, like, as Danny's younger sister, and now here we are and we're like hanging out and we're friends, and it's just really great. I'm very lucky. Tomorrow is a really boring day of like ministry stuff. Now that I've moved into my new flat, in order to get my discount in my council tax that I get for being a new Ola, I need to go and get my address changed on my Teudat Zehut, my ID card. So that's my fun job tomorrow, and also finally signing up for the Maccabi full health thing, which I still haven't done, and sorting out the deposit for my flat, which I still haven't done. So I'm very, very busy, Mum and Dad, don't you worry. I'll be very happy to have a day off in these ulpan summer holidays, hopefully next week. Okay, bye.